Fixed shade or auto darkening? What's the difference? Which one's gonna be best? With the fixed shade, you're stuck with that shade. These are good when you're in a tight spot and your auto darkening lens won't go dark on you because something's blocking the sensors. As time goes on and your eyes change, these either get darker or lighter. For me, I always needed a lighter shade the older I got. If you're out somewhere and you're really having a hard time seeing through that lens, you gotta fight with it until you can get to a Welding store and get a new one. Like, you are stuck in that shade. You have to be a little bit more talented to use these. When you got it in your hood, you flip your hood down, you gotta use your head, flip your hood down, and know where your rod's at all the time. The auto darkening lens, it's like a set of sunglasses that gets a little bit darker when the sun gets brighter. You can see through it when you're getting ready to start welding, and as soon as you strike an arc, it goes dark. Pros with your auto darkening lens. You can always see where your rod is right before you strike an arc, so it's going to eliminate some arc marks. You'll be able to make a little bit better tie-ins because you always know about where you're at. Some of them have adjustable shades, so if you're running a little bit too dark, you can just reach up, turn it down a little bit, get it a little brighter if you need to. Some of the cons, some of them take batteries. It never fails, your battery goes dead when you need it the most, or your batteries die right in the middle of a weld, the shade goes bright on you. Another issue with auto darkening lenses, some of them are solar powered, so if you're always in the dark place, when you're storing your hood for an extended period of time, the battery may die on you, and then you go fire up and poof, you get flashed. I find that the auto shades are a little bit more durable. I don't think I've ever broken one, to be honest with you. They've been kicked off scaffolds and cooling towers, and they've fallen 50, 60 feet, and they always come out looking good. I have, however, had a nice glass lens fall off with my hood, and it come up broken. I think the glass ones are a little bit more sensitive to damage. If you're taking care of your stuff, it doesn't really matter, right? But sometimes it's not always you handling it. It's some ratty old helper that's kicking your crap around for you. When you're using a fixed shade, it's really hard to use a grinder because you really never know where you're at, right? So you're kind of guessing where that grinding disc is, and you squeeze the trigger and touch it, you might not be in your bevel. With an auto darkening shade, you can at least see where the grinder is when you squeeze the trigger. Even though the grinding sparks are going to make your auto lens go dark, you can start out in the right spot, kind of feel it out, and then when you let up, you can see again, pick a new spot, grind a little bit, let up, see again, and so on. So you can grind with these a little bit easier without having to have a clear lens or a flip up hood. Takes a little bit of getting used to, a little bit of learning, but that's how I always kind of operated it. I never had a flip up lens very often. So let's talk about cost, right? Everybody wants to talk about money because at the end of the day, that's ultimately what we're after. Your normal fixed shade, this is a high end one, it's probably pretty expensive, but your normal fixed shade, most welding hoods come with their own fixed shade. So whatever hood you got, they're gonna come with a 10 or a 12 or something like that. It's gonna be plastic. If you get a plastic one, you can probably pick them up for 10 or 15 bucks. If you get a decent glass fixed shade, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks maybe for a decent one, then the price range is a long ways. But your auto lenses, all of your auto lenses are pretty high dollar. The low end auto lens, maybe an Amazon special, you're looking at 60 bucks, but those are gonna be pretty sensitive. Like, you're gonna drop them once and you're gonna break them. An average decent auto lens is gonna be 100 bucks, 120 bucks probably. Arc 1 HD, for instance, I think they run anywhere between 80 and 120, depending on where you get them. They're top of the line, standard lens. There's a big spread, but you can get a fixed shade fairly cheap if that's what you need to do and if that's what works for you. Your auto lenses, you're gonna spend a little bit more money for that technology. Your fixed shade lens is old technology, pretty tried and true. It's been around for probably 100 years, who knows. Auto darkening lenses, they're fairly new technology. They're getting better and better. They've been around probably, I don't know, 20, 30 years, I bet. It's personal preference. I keep both of them because you end up using both in certain situations. I primarily use an auto lens, but when I'm in a pipe rack somewhere and I gotta look through a piece of pipe to put a root in the bottom with my TIG torch, your auto darkening lens doesn't work very good. That's when you pull your fixed shade out. That way you don't have to worry about them sensors being blocked. Either way, keep both of them. If you're running a truck or you got them in your toolbox, keep a set of each, because when one breaks, you got to back up on the other one. Fixed shade, auto shade, it doesn't matter as long as you can see a little bit more clear.